It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it comes your way next.
Well, we knew snow was a possibility for this game, and the weather was happy to oblige with a nice layer of white over Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium, and we got more snow on the way. Today, we've got a good one on tap in the AFC North, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gaudin on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That's a gain of 13 and a very solid opening play for this offense. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to bring up second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
On third down, Jackson. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. He'll look to set up his blockers. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. As we take a peek at the Oklahoma State product, their quarterback, Mason Rudolph.
And when Mason Rudolph is on the field, sometimes the scouting reports have to be revised a little bit because often quarterbacks like to throw short to get a rhythm. For Mason Rudolph, he loves the deep fade, and he loves the deep post pattern. Anything over the top, those are his favorite shots downfield, and that's what gets him comfortable.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. A gain of 4 last last play. They double that here and get 8.
Next, the receivers don't spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 32-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The sack there by Roquan Smith. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
That'll line up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route, and the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Rudolph. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Well, really a fantastic play, not only to pick that off, but he had to run a long way, Charles, in the other direction to hit pay dirt. He did it, and they've got the first lead.
And that certainly changes the early tone of this game, doesn't it, partner? One moment, they were going to be in early control. Now they just have a few moments to clear their heads and get back out there against an electrified defense.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And oh, it's blocked. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. The last time, everything looked pretty good except that final play on the pick 6. And now they've got to come right back out here, Charles, and try to pick up the pieces and get things going again.
Yeah, it certainly seems dire, doesn't it? But there is a silver lining, and it is hard to see so soon after that touchdown. But the game plan was definitely working. They were generating offense, had the ball beyond midfield, getting wins on each down against the defense. So they're moving it well. They just have to hang on to it.
Well, as you said, though, probably tough to remember those good things on that last drive when it ended like it did. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. On first down, Rudolph. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
On second down, here's Rudolph. Johnson's got it complete. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive. 6-0 our score after 1. second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Rudolph now to throw. He finds Robinson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
Rudolph on 1st down. He gets it complete to Harris. So no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Harris running straight ahead, and he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
That is caught. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Allen Robinson, 32 yards. And the Steelers are an extra point away from capturing the lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. He's got it, and they take the lead at 7-6. A 10-play drive that time. And it's Allen Robinson who caps things off with a touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the 1st half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place.
And now off to the races down the right side. Nelson Aguilar. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, 77 yards. And the Ravens are once again back in front.
Well, if the plan is to come in here and go toe-to-toe with these guys, it certainly does not hurt if you hit them with a big shot along the way, too.
That's got to give them some confidence. And the other thing right now, it quiets this crowd, at least for the time being.
Yeah, that is what is called the intended consequence of their actions.
Tucker now to add the point after. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was capped by the touchdown pass to Nelson Aguilar. On the return from his end zone, Godwin Igwebuike. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball. I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Here comes a first down throw from Rudolph. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
2nd and 10. Now it's Rudolph. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Arthur Maulet. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Now it's Jackson. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Jackson from the shotgun. He's got his target. That's complete. He's got room to roam. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Rashad Bateman, 43 yards. And the Ravens are able to add on to that lead. Tucker now for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's Rashad Bateman who finished it all off with a touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out come the Steelers. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Rudolph looking to throw it. And quickly into the hands of Robinson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. First down now, but the clock continues to move.
That's good for a Pittsburgh Steelers.
Here's Rudolph. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Brandon Stevens. And the Ravens are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams,
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because...
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Rudolph. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Ravens are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. We have 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Jackson on 1st down. A little short one there, caught by Likely. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Throwing is Jackson. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 29-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this from 40. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report. The big story thus far has really been the snow. It's made footing treacherous, and if the forecast holds, it's only going to get worse. But I can tell you as a fan, these are the games you love to watch. You'd have to imagine, given the snowy condition, lots to talk about at halftime for these two coaching staffs. Plenty of decisions to be made for this second half for sure. And for the call, we hand it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right. And we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. Well, the Steeler offense ready to get going to begin this 3rd quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the 3rd quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
1st down, and they go back to Harris. And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 6. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out. It's loose. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, and pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
Tackle made by Montravius Adams.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. 23 yards the pickup there.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Jackson options out left. And he probably should have given that one off, as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Jackson. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that one, that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so, they're going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Now that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
This is obviously a critical sequence for this defense if they want to stay in this game. Down 2 scores already. They give up a touchdown here. That makes things really difficult for their offense moving forward.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. From the gun, Jackson. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. T.J. Watt, the all-pro, in there to take him down.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Harris going to get it again on second down. And Najee going to have a Steelers first down as he gets this up past the 40. And quickly they get to the line. First and 10, here's Pickett. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Here's a 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 44-yard line.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Meanwhile, Pickett's throw complete there to Johnson. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. And now they're in the hurry-up. Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris taking it in for 2 yards out. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. So this back now to a 10-point spread, and you have to imagine they'll line up and go for 2.
Oh, no question about it. If they can get this to an 8-point game, they can make things awfully interesting here in these last few minutes.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Pickett will try to throw for this. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. A very pivotal 2-point try that does not go their way. Now it's a big uphill battle for the rest of the 4th quarter.
The attempt was to try and make it a 1-score game, right? Touchdown, get 2, and now you've tied it up. Instead, they don't get it. Still down 10.
Returning it, Justice Hill. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball. Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. That one into the hands of Flowers. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and look like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And I think this defense knew what was coming. He is smothered behind the line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. On second down, it's Edwards. And very little day. They'll get a couple up to the 44. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The offense on third down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Work in the middle. Hill's hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did. And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th.
So here's Pickett and the Steelers. Down by 10, 2:16 to play. Can they take advantage of the late carelessness? We'll see as they've got a first down. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A handoff running left. It's Hill. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. A stoppage here for an injury, and not what you want to see. J.K. Dobbins in a little bit of pain after that last play. The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves him looking at a 4th down. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Now it's the Steelers' turn. Trailing in this one now. 26 seconds to go. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a first down. Pickett to throw. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
I have a few questions about that throw because to me there just wasn't a lot there. I thought he tried to do a little bit too much, almost tried to will a receiver open when there was no chance he was going to be. Nice job by the linebacker being all over that one and knocking it away.
Now meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Looking to throw here. Pickett. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.